Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to News Night. Well, coming up tonight, the heat is on the NDC to launch its own investigation into allegations against one of its MPs who is accused of inciting a mob that attacked officers of National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat.
From your national executives.
The party is the same.
Led by your chairman.
The party is the same.
Issue a statement and actually call for the investigations to be expedited.
No.
We have details as a minority in Parliament is vowing to keep the pressure on both the government and the police to ensure the matter is thoroughly investigated and justice served.
We will go from tomorrow asking the police how far they've gone with the investigation and what charges have been leveled against, and equal and fair treatment.
Also tonight, Parliament erupts as minority and majority engage in blames over Galamsey.
You say you know the people who are the pickings, who are the people funding Galamsey. Go and arrest them. Why are you not arresting them?
I believe that it is time for us indeed to take a decisive action in dealing with this menace.
We have details.
Also coming up, we'll tell you about some Chinese nationals who have locked themselves up in a warehouse at Anyang Kwanta in the Ashanti region to resist inspection by officers from the Environmental Protection Authority.
This is also one of the warehouses on the Anyang Kwanta stretch. It's the second that the EPA has shut down today. A lot of pipes, two pipes, and others are all in here.
And in our Dear Mahama series, we'll tell you about Winneba's tainted tap water and the health threats to the public.
Some of us will have to resort into going to fetch water from the sea. I mean, the salt water.
You pledge, say if you call, you will stop Galamsey. But now, it's almost 8 months, 9 months now.
We have more in our continuing series, Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey. Coming up in business.
Government consolidates single-digit inflation recorded earlier this year with the rate reaching 8% for the month of October.
And in sports,
Ghana Boxing IMC to lift suspension on professional boxing after approving new medical and safety protocols.
Also coming up tonight, former GRA boss banned from holding any public office for 5 years after CHRAJ found him guilty of procurement breaches and corruption-related offences that caused the state a financial loss of almost 9 million Ghana cedis. We bring you details. And we have details of these and many other stories coming up in the next 1 hour. You can be a part of this show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Ofori.
Details shortly.
And you're welcome back to News Night. Tonight, pressure is mounting on the governing National Democratic Congress to launch its own internal investigations into allegations that one of its members of parliament, Esutefi North MP Ebenezer Kweku-Addo, played a role in inciting a mob that attacked officials of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, during a field operation in the Ahafo region.
The call comes after a police statement named the Esutefi North MP as a key figure in the violent incident. Member of the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Senyo Hosi, says it is not enough for the police to drag him to court. He says the NDC must condemn the MP and also commence disciplinary processes against him.
That is why you should initiate your own internal investigations as well. Because wrongdoing is not necessarily illegal doing. Illegality.
The matter has already been dealt with at the very highest echelon. And so that I'm sure you agree with me.
My brother, your party should take a serious exception to it. Send a signal to your membership. And I want to see a statement from your national executives.
The party is the same.
Led by your chairman.
The party is the same.
Issue a statement and actually call for the investigations to be expedited. Put your voice inside the matter and let them know. Beyond that, you will take action on the guy. But the only thing I heard is 150,000 bill that they give the man. That one day I don't agree, but I can't blame GM for it. It's the cost that we have to deal with. But I don't agree at all. To me, we put 50 million cities on his head. Look at the amounts of money that we are putting on people's heads. Somebody has done a thing like this. The kingpin that the president has been talking about, here are your kingpins. Because, my brother, you sat here with me the last time. Yeah. You saw the data. People are eating poison. Look at the water that people are living with. Look, we must have people with a heart. And these are the people sitting in parliament. When I tell you that Galamseyers have captured our parliament in many ways, you think I'm lying.
Well, Senyo Hosi is also calling on President John Dramani Mahama to ensure the process is transparent.
Moma JMOC, O-C, Niwa, Moma JMOC, O. Now we have a head of state, not a ceremonial president. We have a real president. He's showing his power, and this is what we expect of proper leadership. As for that man, I don't want to see, don't put him on his screen. It's not even worth your screen. You can write his statement, don't put his picture on your screen. We all vex. What is this? I'm so impressed by the swiftness of His Excellency the President. When you defy his men, who are at the forefront of the most important fight of this country, you are defying the directives of the Commander-in-Chief of this country. So I was waiting to see. After today, I would have been able to tell whether we have a president or we don't. And he has saved that office by his act. This is the form of leadership we've always been looking for. And I hope that this will not just be one flash in the pan, but this will actually be the pan itself. And everybody will realize that for Galamsey, there's no tolerance for nonsense. You have to sack that guy from your party. That guy must be moved from the party.
And Deputy CEO of the Forestry Commission and spokesperson for NIMOS, Elikem Kotoko, says NIMOS confirmed Ebenezer Kwekuado brought some men to the police station.
This whole scenario, it's something that definitely was not anticipated, though, but incidents of this nature are things that we are fighting. And after the whatever happened, I have had a few engagements with the team, and even specifically with Colonel Boer.
Okay.
And he didn't mince words. He said, bro, it was just the mercy of God. So this was what happened. And when I heard of the incident, in fact, let me state here, Honorable Comrade
Ebenezado
is a very good friend. And so I do not know what exactly warranted the continuous narrative of what we're told transpired. And I find it to be unacceptable. And so, well, fortunately, I am happy with the swiftness of how matters are going.
But
I must say,
your kennel, I mean, I say your kennel, but I mean, you work together. I mean, the NIMOS chief. He confirmed that it was Ebenezer Ado. He confirmed that it was Ebenezer Ado who led the mob.
That he didn't mince words with that. He said so, that he came with a certain number of those people. And that gave the other people some charge. They felt also, okay, all right, then let's... And so I believe
Did he say that he came in with intention to get the mob to stop them from doing their work?
I want that...
Because he seemed to suggest that, and again, he brings in Collins Dada's name.
Yes.
That Collins Dada had called him to get him to talk to the commander about something, right?
Yes.
Collins Dada had denied that, by the way. This was said on the floor, so the floor is the Parliamentary House of Records. What was his narration again exactly to you?
The narration was that, introducing yourself, I'm the Member of Parliament for so-and-so.
So he introduced himself?
This is the constituency of so-and-so, and he's on the phone and would want to say a word or something. And Kenneth Boer said, in the line of duty, there was no need to talk to anyone about that.
Well, the minority in Parliament, despite welcoming the prosecution of the MP, believe that it may be a smokescreen. Deputy Ranking Member on the Land Committee in Parliament, Akwesi Kunedu, said the minority will be vigilant.
Even if you want to take your mind, all of these things are being done in some sort of swiftness. I use in quotation of swiftness because you talked about the Yamina Banga case, and now we're having this as a smokescreen to take away civil society and the clarion call by Ghanaians about the state of emergency. He talked about the last 8 years, we are not seeing this. The amount and the magnitude of destruction now under 8 months or 10 months is so devastating that people continuously call for a state of emergency. So all of these things are swiftly being done to divert our attention from the destruction. Oh, immediately that we recorded. He was taken to court. He was given bail. So all our attention will be on that. But the destruction is still ongoing. Why would that number of people amass at a police station in their 100, 600? And we are here talking about calling somebody names to put his presidency on the line, and that, and that, and that.
Now join us via telephone is Dr. Kenneth Ashibeda, CEO. He's the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. Good evening and thank you for your time on Newsnight. First of all, I'd like to get your reaction to all that has happened and how it's being handled.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's important to note that any attack on the officers of state is completely not a good thing to be happening in our country, Ghana. And definitely the actions that have been taken so far are the actions in the right direction. I have a personal relationship with Kenneth, and what Kenneth tells me is what was in the statement of Mahama definitely is the truth. And we need to get to the bottom of that. Beyond the MP involved, we have video footage of people who were also involved in the crime that had been committed. We also should be asking for all those people who were arrested by Kenneth and his team to be rearrested. All those evidence that were collected needs to be collected back. And we need to ensure that that cyanide processing plant is closed permanently. And we need to make sure that everybody who is responsible for this act is dealt with as swiftly as possible. The state cannot be seen to be weak in the face of the face of criminality from this particular mob.
Engineer Ashigbe, you are a leading voice against illegal mining in Ghana. Now, what does this incident say, of course, about political interference that continues to undermine the fight against the menace?
Well, again, that's the elephant in the room, and that's the thing that some of us have been saying, that the firefighters are the arsonists themselves. And it's the reason why, for me, I was happy with the statement issued not only by the police, by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, and the fact that the IGP has been swift in all of this. We need to deal with the politically exposed persons who are involved in this and show to people that there's nobody above the law so far as our country, Ghana, is concerned.
And do you also support calls for the NDC to launch its own investigations into this incident?
Well, if you look at the petition, the press statement that has been issued by the coalition, we are asking the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the country, to launch an independent investigation into the case and ensure that we deal with this as swiftly as possible. And so for us, that's the most important thing. It is not, when it comes to governance, it's not a party in power that is in control. It is the president who is the president for all of us, citizens, who should be in charge. And so we would be expecting His Excellency working together with his ministers to ensure that we get to the bottom of that.
Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, CEO of Ghana Chamber of Mines, and he's also the convener for the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining. Thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Let's still stay on this conversation and bring in Mustafa Bande, who's the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, and also Haruna Mohammed, who's the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP. I'll begin with you, Mr. Mohammed. Grateful for your time this evening. The New Patriotic Party has not really gone heavy on this particular issue about the MPP's alleged involvement in Galamsey. As a party, how do you respond to this?
Thank you. I've not heard your question. MPP in what?
We've not seen MPP as a party go heavy on this particular subject, and I want to pick your thoughts as a party. What really do you make of this?
Thank you. I think that we have left the NDC to the people of Ghana. They deceived and played on the emotions of the people of Ghana. They lied their way through to power. They played on the sensitivity of the people of Ghana and used the Galamsey as one of the backups to get into government. And today, everybody is seeing them. They are national officers, including my brother, Mustafa Bande, who have been heard on tape, talking about their party has come to power and they are taking the concessions and giving to the members of the NDC. Today, one of their MPs have become Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Forces because he's instructing and attacking the army who are doing the work in the field. This is where we have gotten to. He's not the only MP. Another MP in the Western North was also caught. Other party persons who have been involved in this, even up to the point that the Attorney General has to name the national organizer and the one of the vice chairman of the NDC. So that is what we have met as a nation. Today we had the opportunity to speak on that matter. The General Secretary indicated how Galamsey has worsened under the NDC administration, and everybody is seeing this. I'm very happy that we are discussing this matter state-owned multimedia platform where Erastus Sasari is making a lot of inroads in reporting what is happening in there. As for the NDC, the less you talk about them, the better. And that is why we don't want to waste our time and energy. Ghanaians will definitely see them, and that is what they are doing. That is their stock in trade. All of them. That is what they do. The president himself, in Meet the Press, has told everybody, made us all aware that the money that they are getting at Gold Board include that of the Galamsey. If you have labor, child labor, doing work, and the child labor produces or raises productivity, and you want to claim and say that, even though it is wrong, child labor is involved, but productivity is high. Do you think about this particular logic? Something that is illegal, no matter how you raise funds or you get productivity out of that. But the president was applauding that, yes, it has helped them, and this is what they have gained. So the NDC will definitely spoil this nation. They will bring down everything. Look at the number of excavators that are coming into this country. Look at the number of excavators. Today, they have disbanded the group that is doing it, the police that were doing that particular work. And now NIMOS is there, and the NDC MPs can order attack on them. And then the only thing that the court can do is to give a bail condition of 150,000. If a court can give a condition or a sanction of 6,000 to people who have gone to cause mayhem in Ablekmanov, and that court can do the same thing to NDC MP of 150,000, that tells you what this country is all about now.
Now, Mr. Haruna Mohammed, there are calls that the NDC should also launch its independent investigation into the matter. I'm curious to know, how would an MPP government have handled this? MPP as a party, assuming that you were in office and one of your MPs was alleged to have done this, how would your party have handled this?
First and foremost, our MP, none of our MPs will accept to do what they have done. So I don't think that we would have even met such a situation. We have not trained any of our MPs to behave that way. So for me to even assume that our MP or an MP from the MPP would do that, it would be an insult to the integrity of the New Patriotic Party. I don't think that any member of our parliament will engage in such an activity. And even providing solution for it and using the if condition is an insult to the integrity of our membership. And I don't think that this thing would have happened to us. These people have been emboldened. The NDC have been emboldened because of the number of votes that they have gotten. They want to misbehave. Look at what they are doing. They are forgetting that they will leave power. Even 100 years, they will leave power. And they will be chased. They will be used because crime has no expiry date. And that is what we are going to live with for the next 4 years. Ghanaians should know that this is how we are going to engage ourselves with the NDC for the next 4 good years. That's what the NDC will be doing.
Haruna Mohammed, thank you very much. That's the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, Pearl.
And we'll stay a while longer on illegal mining because NDC and NPP MPs have traded blames over which party fueled illegal mining the most. Delivered a statement on the Galamsey menace, NPP MP for Menchia North and former Deputy Lands Minister accused the government of doing little to deal with Galamsey despite its many promises while in opposition.
Mr. Speaker, Galamsey is not simply an environmental issue. It is a national security threat. It fuels local conflict, deepens poverty, and exposes our youth to preventable death. In light of this, the Mahama-led government should leverage real-time surveillance through technology and satellite imagery, anchored in the visionary digitalization agenda of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to enhance monitoring of high-risk mining zones and enable swift response to emerging illegal activities. The digitalized infrastructure, once mocked and misunderstood by our opponents, now presents a strategic tool to combat the Galamsey menace with precision, transparency, and accountability. Furthermore, Right Honorable Speaker, the government should revitalize and invest in community-based mining cooperatives, not only name-changing them, established under the previous government, and bring them under robust regulatory framework that enforces strict environmental and safety standards. These cooperatives must serve as legal, safe, and economically viable alternative to illegal mining, especially for the youth and rural populations who are more vulnerable to exploitation in the Galamsey economy. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, every Ghanaian life matters. We cannot continue to treat death from Galamsey pit as collateral damage. These are accidents that are avoidable tragedies, resulting from policy gap, institutional inertia, and sometimes deliberate neglect. Let's be bold and act now. The cost of inaction is not just economical, it is a human tragedy.
And resident correspondent in Parliament, Kweku Asante, joins us in studio with more. Kweku, this statement was open for comments but turned into a debate. Tell us about the minority's stance.
Well, the former Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwu, tore into the government. He said that while the NDC were campaigning in the 2024 election campaign period, they promised to go after so-called kingpins, but they haven't been able to do so. And so the NDC should show which kingpins they've arrested instead of their MPs going on rampage.
Youth are being destroyed because of Galamsey. And what is painful is that somebody will have his cocoa farm. Minerals Commission will sit in Accra and issue permits, and they'll go and destroy the cocoa farms. The former speaker, Joe Sewusu, you can find out from him. His own farm, he cannot visit that farm, cocoa farm, because Galamsey just invaded the whole place and took over. And that is what, if they can do that to a former speaker, what about the ordinary farmer in the village?
When have they done that to Joe Sewusu?
They seized his farm.
When?
They seized his farm last month. And they seized it last month. He told me that from September, October, the Galamsey seized his farm. But Mr. Speaker, all I'm saying is that our land is being destroyed, the livelihood is being destroyed, and we moved with force to go and stop them. If you continue sending just 2, 3, 4, 5 soldiers onto the field, you are putting their life at risk. I never sent any group of soldiers less than 100 to go and fight Galamsey. Never. Because I know that what happened at Asutufindov can happen to them. Can you imagine if a soldier was killed? What would have happened in Asutufindov? So I'm advising government, ban all surface mining for 1 year like we did. Have a grip. And the state of emergency you ask for, declare state of emergency, but I will not even ask for it. But I'm saying it's very easy to ban all surface mining for 1 year. We did it, you can do it. 2, you say you know the people who are the pickings, who are the people funding Galamsey. Go and arrest them. Why are you not arresting them? Why are you not arresting those people? So, Mr. Speaker.
So, Kweku, that's the former Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwu, and obviously there was a response from the majority side of the House as well.
Well, yes, there were a lot of fiery responses, some of them calling him out and alleging that he was being a hypocrite, and that he spent time in the Defense Ministry. He could not deal with the matter of illegal mining. MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Susu, attempted to dial down the temperature in the House a little bit because both MPs, both sides were firing on all cylinders, and so he sought to calm things down. In his view, the government of the day, John Dramani Mahama's government, has done enough and a lot to deal with illegal mining. Of course, there's still a lot to be done, but that the MPP cannot claim that the current NDC government have abandoned the fight.
Because I have always argued that when we fail on the fight against Galamsey, we will be failing the next generation, the generation yet unborn. Because, Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the rules of intergenerational equity, every generation must use the natural resources that are available to them in a way that you can guarantee its usage in the future. Unfortunately, that's not what we are seeing today. People are hell-bent on destroying our water bodies and destroying our natural environment for their own parochial interest. Mr. Speaker, this cannot continue. The number of deaths and accidents that are associated with this illegal mining sometimes are very alarming. The numbers that we have here are those that are reported. Those that are not reported, when the pits cave in and so on and so forth, are much more. And so, Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is time for us indeed to take a decisive action in dealing with this menace. Mr. Speaker, and that is why I want to commend government for the effort made so far, even though I believe that more must be done again, Mr. Speaker, to bring this under control.
Now tonight, former GRA Commissioner General Reverend Amishadai Owusu-Amwa has been banned from holding any public office for 5 years. This comes on the back of a CHRAJ investigative report that found him guilty of procurement breaches and corruption-related offences that caused the state a financial loss of almost 9 million cedis. The Commission's report, following a 2022 petition by pressure group Movement for Truth and Accountability, reviews that the former GRA board supervised the award of questionable contracts to 3 companies: Rona Motors Ghana Limited, Talino Ghana Limited, and Sajel Motors and Trading Company Limited for the supply of vehicles and logistics to the authority. Head of Research at Joy News, Isaac Ofieje, has been providing more details.
This was a contract that was awarded on the 1st of October 2021. According to CHRAJ's report, the GRA employed, and I quote, the single source procurement method in the award of the said contract, contrary to the claims of the allegation that the authority deployed the restrictive tender method. So here, CHRAJ is saying that there was a sole source instead of what the authority said they did, the restricted tender method. And that was one of the key findings of CHRAJ. And so the method involved, there was some contradiction in terms of what the authorities had told CHRAJ and what CHRAJ's own investigation had pointed out too. And in fact, quote, the respondent here, CHRAJ means the former boss of the GRA, Reverend Amishadai Owusu, misled the PPA in approving the request of the GRA to award the contract to the said companies using single source procurement method in dubious circumstances. And according to, CHRAJ, the award of the contract was in breach of some provisions of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended. And CHRAJ says that the companies involved were unable to duly fulfill their contractual, obligations.
Let's go into the telephone lines and have a conversation on the back of this. And we have Michael Bwedi, who is the fundraising manager at Transparency International Ghana. Glad you could join us tonight. Tell us the significance this ruling is to Ghana's fight against corruption and ultimate abuse of public office.
Yes, good evening, Evans.
This is Kenneth, by the way.
I would beg of you if you could speak a bit loudly, because I am far away in Sunyani, so I don't know whether it's the reception.
Okay, that's fine. This is Kenneth, by the way. I was asking the significance of this ruling to Ghana's broader fight against corruption and the ultimate abuse of public office.
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I'm saying that I'm asking the significance of this to Ghana's broader fight against corruption and the abuse of public office.
Well, I think that it is a huge milestone. It is signifying that you cannot escape accountability, irrespective of how much time that passes. So I believe that what CHRAJ has done today, but let me start by also congratulating those who filed the petition. Is that the Movement for Truth or so? I think that we need a lot more of this public-spirited advocacy or demand for accountability. And CHRAJ has also demonstrated that, yes, they have the capacity and the zeal to exact or demand accountability from every public official.
And does the 5-year ban send a strong enough signal or deterrent message to public officials?
In public office.
I was asking if the 5-year ban send a strong enough deterrent message to public officials. Is it enough?
Well, I don't think it is not enough. But you see, the CHRAJ's orders are usually administrative.
Okay.
I am hoping that CHRAJ will not leave it there, but will forward the report to the Attorney General for the Attorney General to initiate prosecution because I haven't read the report, I'm using if it is established that the infractions borders on corruption and abuse of office.
Michael Buedi, thank you very much. He's the fundraising manager at Transparency International Ghana. And that takes us to business. And George Riafe is joining us in the studio with the latest. George, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, coming up, government consolidates single-digit inflation gains recorded earlier this year as October rate slows further to 8%. And Bank of Ghana's gold reserves hit 38.04 tons for October this year as the price of the commodity continues to reach record levels, supporting the huge dollar intervention for the city's record appreciation against the dollar. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business interstanks and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal. Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, declining prices of some food items helped slow inflation rate to another record level for the month of October this year. There is more in this report.
Data from the Ghana Statistical Service showed for the third time this year, price of some goods and services from September to October actually dropped. This resulted in the country recording a deflation. The development was one of the major drivers behind October inflation slowing to this record level, the lowest in 4 years, and a 10th consecutive decline this year. This development means government has consolidated its single-digit rate recorded earlier this year, and the Bank of Ghana can now officially say it has met its medium-term target of 8% for inflation. It is, however, not clear for now how this will impact the next Monetary Policy Committee meeting later this month, and whether it will move to adjust its lending rate to commercial banks, which currently stands at 21.50%. The Ghana Statistical Service data also showed that inflation at the regional and other levels was also slowing. Other non-food items also went down over the one-year period. For instance, smoked herrings and vegetable oil witnessed significant drops in prices over the period. Locally produced goods remain costlier than imports in October. Local inflation fell from 10.1% in September to 8% in October, while imported inflation rose from 7.4% to 7.8%.
And that is the Business Desk report. Meanwhile, government statistician Dr. Hassan Idrisu is optimistic that the current single-digit inflation could be sustained if policymakers stick to the current fiscal consolidation program.
For 2025, government has programmed an expenditure level for the year, and that expenditure is planned in a manner that it is consistent with the overall macroeconomic framework. If government stays a course and execute its expenditures according to plan, that would not, shall I say, disturb the disinflation path we are seeing, because all of these have already been woven into the fiscal framework.
And that is the government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu. Now, Bank of Ghana's gold reserves has hit 38.04 tons ending October this year. Now, this was captured in a document issued by the Central Bank today. Details in this report.
The data showed that since the beginning of this year, the Bank of Ghana, through its gold purchase program, has increased its gold reserves by a little over 7 tons. Also, from October 2024 to October 2025, the Bank of Ghana's gold reserves have gone up by more than 35%. When it comes to month-on-month growth for this year, we are looking at an average of 2.2%. The gold accumulation program has played a key role in improving Ghana's international reserves and the cedi's record appreciation against the dollar this year. Gold prices have also hit record levels, resulting in the Bank of Ghana making some windfall. The development has resulted in the regulator trying to roll out a mechanism where the said access can be released to the market in terms of dollar supply. Some market analysts have already projected that gold prices will hit $5,000 by the end of this year, and that could come as a good news for the economy. This was after it almost hit $4,000 earlier this year. This is because recent World Bank data showed that Ghana's economic turnaround had been fueled by rising prices of commodities like gold. But the biggest question here is that, with rising prices of gold, should we go ahead to hedge the country's gold reserves?
And that is a Business Desk report. Now, Bank of Ghana has revealed that it will soon expand its pilot phase of its licensing passport framework to Morocco and Nigeria following a successful partnership with the Rwandan Central Bank. Now, this was disclosed by the head of FinTech at the Bank of Ghana, Kwasari. Now, speaking at the FinTech seminar, he emphasized that cross-border collaborations will position local FinTech players to tap into the continent's estimated $65 billion FinTech market.
One of our proudest milestones this year has been the development of the licensed passporting and interoperability framework in collaboration with the National Bank of Rwanda. This allows, and as I said earlier on, the potential 65 billion valuation that the fintech ecosystem will get to in 2030. Everybody will be able to have, or fintechs will be able to have unlimited access to different markets. So the collaboration with Rwanda is just a pilot. My session that I went for, we've been discussing a collaboration between Ghana and Morocco.
And that is Kwasari. He spoke at the leading fintech seminar put together by the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems and the Bank of Ghana. Now, GAB Health Insurance is marking its 5th anniversary with a renewed focus on innovation and stronger partnership to meet the evolving healthcare needs of Ghanaians. Chief Operating Officer of the company, Isaac Obenyankson, says the company is expanding through product innovation in collaboration with key stakeholders.
In expanding your business, you should be able to address the needs of the market you are serving. So we intend to expand through our product innovation, looking at the specific segments within our markets, what their very needs are, and coming up with solutions that speak specifically to their needs. We're also looking at partnership with key stakeholders in the industry, particularly healthcare providers. And so that has been at the heart of what we've been doing. So
Isaac Obenyankson is the Chief Operations Officer for GAB Health Insurance. Now, GCB Bank PLC has unveiled the Amber Club, an exclusive customer engagement platform designed to reward long-term loyalty and deliver personalized banking experience. Chief Marketing, Communications and Customer Experience Officer at the bank, Cynthia Ofori, said the launch of this club marks a new era of the bank's efforts to enhance customer engagement.
We've had an amazing night engaging with our top tier clients. It's really been a night about rewarding partnership and long-term loyalty. We launched tonight the Amber Club, which is our one platform for really just curating specialized experiences for our customers. It's an opportunity for us to treat our top tier customers specially, introduce them to a customized way of banking and enable their businesses in a more intimate, intentional manner.
Chief Marketing and Communications and Customer Experience Officer at GCB Bank PLC, Cynthia Ofori. And that's all for business on News Night. Back to you guys.
Oh, thank you very much, George, for bringing us the latest in business. It's now time for sports, and Daniel is here with the latest.
Let's go straight into the stories. And the National Sports Authority has officially announced that the suspension on professional boxing in Ghana will be lifted on Thursday, November 6th, which is tomorrow, marking a major step towards reviving one of the country's most celebrated sporting disciplines. The decision follows months of extensive consultations between the NSA, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and the Interim Management Committee established to oversee boxing's normalization process. According to the authority, the IMC has made significant progress in resolving the issues that led to the sport's suspension, particularly through strengthening medical and safety protocols and improvements in governance and administrative systems. Moving on, Asante Kotoko will face Hearts of Folk in the season's first installment of the Super Clash on Sunday at the Accra Sports Stadium. The country's two biggest sides are the only two unbeaten teams in the league so far this season. Kotoko head coach Karim Zito believes Sunday will provide an opportunity for his side to prove that their defeats to Hearts in the Galka Top 4 earlier this season was a fluke.
Hearts of Folk and Kotoko, everybody knows
how the game is. It is one of the best and one of the most difficult game between the two. So everybody wants to win, just as we are going there with the mindset of winning. So it's like you plan against the best side of your opponent and then capitalize on the weaker side. So this is what we are doing in short. We played twice. We beat him one. He also had us during the gala. So this is the third one to prove to him that maybe the gala, as I said, to me, the top four, the timing was very bad for Kotoko. I'm vindicated now.
That was Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zito bringing that into sports. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Pearl?
Now, you've been wondering why tap water, especially those resold in buckets and barrels, has become more expensive. The latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service provides more answers. According to the October 2025 inflation report, inflation for water rose to 15%, even as the national headline inflation continued its downward trend into single digits. Johnny's research reviews worrying developments behind the price hikes. Data from Ghana Water Limited shows that the company may be compelled to spend over 5.5 billion cedis on operations and maintenance in 2026, largely due to damages caused by Galamsey activities. Well, these costs, which include water treatment and equipment replacement, are expected to exert significant pressure on tariffs and the stability of water supply in the coming years. Ghana Water has already sent a bold proposal to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission seeking a 280% increase in the water tariff, and the big factor has been Galamsey. The fear is that this may worsen inflation numbers for resold water. Now, head of research here at Joy News, Isaac Kofieji, has been studying both the inflation report and GWL's proposal document to the PRC and joins me in the studio with details. Isaac, first of all, tell us how resold water found its way into the top 20 items.
In fact, the first time we saw it featuring the top 20 items was in April 2025. And since then, it's featured for the last 7 months consecutively. And we've checked the inflation for resold water, and the average has been around 17% in the last 7 months. And the fear is that because of illegal mining, we may see tariffs go up. And already we have seen that big proposal by the Ghana Water Limited to ask for about 280% increase in their tariff.
Now to the Ghana Water Limited, how is their cost looking like next year in terms of operations and maintenance?
Already there's a very, very high figure in terms of cost of operations and maintenance this year. They estimate that at somewhere around 4.7 billion Ghana cedis this year. Now, they say that because of illegal mining, they are being forced to shut down about 10 of their plants, which they captured in that proposal. And they say that if nothing is done about illegal mining and in terms of their operation cost and estimation for 2026, they project that as a result of some of these issues, their costs in terms of operation and maintenance could balloon to some, 5.5 billion Ghana cedis by next year.
Head of Research at Joy News, Isaac Kofieji. Thank you.
Let's now head to the central region because there's looming public health crisis in Winneba. Residents say their taps are no longer delivering potable water, but danger. For over a year, a brown, muddy liquid, almost raw river water has been flowing into homes. Many families are left with no option than to use the contaminated water for their domestic purposes. Others have turned to using seawater. The Winneba Headworks simply cannot clean what illegal miners have polluted upstream. In this edition of Dear Mahama Stop Galamsey, Winneba residents are pleading with President John Mahama to fulfill his promise to end illegal mining.
We ended our semester exams last Tuesday. I went to church to give thanks to God for a successful end of semester.
Meet Amos Indam, a level 300 student of the University of Education, Winneba. Today should be a joyous day, but his biggest worry is how to stay clean in a town where water has become a hazard.
Some of us will have to resort into going to fetch water from the sea, the salt water.
Amos is not asking for miracles, only colorless water, the kind he once learned about in class.
It will marvel you to see the color of water being yellowish, containing some particles, such that even if you wash with a cloth that is white, you end up staining it. But before we started exams, I was admitted 3 times. And I think it's as a result of the water. Not that I drink, but when I bath, after finishing, I feel some scratches on my skin. And I want to believe it is because of the chemicals, mercury, that they actually used for the mining activities.
The Winneba headworks is suffocating, silt choking its intake, raw water so polluted it cannot be properly treated. And as the system gasps, an entire community finds itself drowning in uncertainty.
And when you ask, they say now because of the Galamsey, the water works people used to use so many chemicals before it would be neat.
Winneba is full of Amoses. Among them, elders who remember when water was not a privilege.
We used to get water every day. Sometimes it could take us more than 1 week, there will be no water. The one way will come from water works itself. If you fetch it, put it down for some hours, you will see say there's dirty, clay under.
Sometimes I say, nti wudi akakra na ye fufu ngi me ma adwumi che me say amu Galamsey na mutu no na ye hunu sa na first na nti sa o muja nsuo no ma ye pa mo chaw Ghana penya sewala
as we be watch now it's red. The water is giving us much headache.
The people of Winneba are not asking for luxury, just clean water.
President John Dramani Mahama, I don't think we are winning the fights against Galamsey. And if we want to win the fight against Galamsey, we must employ radical means.
Our president, Mahama, I beg, when you want to come to power, you pledge to say if you come, you will stop Galamsey. But now, never get 1 year. It's almost 8 months, 9 months now. So we beg you to try to stop it because that Galamsey is giving us big headache.
President John Dramani Mahama promised to end illegal mining. Here in Winneba, the water tells a different story. Residents say they do not want speeches, they want action, and they want it now. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, Winneba, Central Region.
And you've been sharing some of your comments on the stories we brought to you. Nicholas Bento from Akachi says the NPP should keep quiet when it comes to the Galamsey issue. During your time, you said party Hiasika and you destroyed everything. Someone is trying to clean your mess and you're still making noise aban papaba. This one from Michael in Legon says if Ghana needs advice on how to manage Galamsey, is it NPP and its lands and natural resources minister the best to go for? Please, these self-righteous people should give Ghanaians a break. And the final one says, do we still have the fast-track high courts that were established in 2001? If no, does government intend to create one? Those courts are badly needed now, and it's from Prof. Intema.
Right, and that ends it for News 9 tonight. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Pearl Ofori.
But right after News 9, though, is strong and sassy, and the beautiful Enimwa is already in the studio. Enimwa, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's another Wednesday.
It is indeed. What are we discussing tonight?
Proposals.
Oh.
So are you married?
Not yet.
So do you plan on doing like a lavish proposal?
No. That looks too much of a scene from a movie.
Oh, you see Ghana men. So unromantic. Everything, movie.
But anyway, you've been seeing those viral proposals where the people have been bounced before, haven't you?
So it's fear of bounce.
I saw one where the guy proposed in a lavish restaurant, and then I think he gave the lady, was it a phone or something?
Okay.
And the lady told the guy that he should go on his knees.
Okay.
The guy said no. The lady refused the proposal.
Oh,
because
wow.
the guy said no, and the cameras were all over.
And I don't know whether you've seen the recent one. The lady slapped the boyfriend for.
You don't say.
Yes. She was very upset.
She was
very upset.
You see?
But anyway, so based on all of these things, we're talking about proposals and maybe how you should gauge, how your partner, we'll also be sharing how, we would like to be proposed to if you're out there and you're wondering how to.
I know the ladies love that. I know. Some.
And do you have tips for the men as well?
I think that would be fair, right? Yeah. So we'll definitely put that together.
Then today's conversation will be very
very interesting. I can promise you that. Strong and Sassy coming up next.